Let's go. Are we actually on? You're here listening with Kayla
and Georgia,
bringing you real, raw and relatable chats on the Evolve to Thrive podcast.
Stay tuned because shit's about to get juicy as we dive into all things health, fitness, life and relationships.
Let's go.
Woo! Today we are dedicating this quick episode to how Kayla and I both eat, what we eat and some of our favorite recipes, and a little comparison of comp prep versus everyday life with more food freedom and more of a balanced approach to food and nutrition. Kayla and I eat quite differently from each other, so I'm actually interested to see the difference in our approach to food.
Yeah,
because
it's
you
pretty
eat
different.
very, very boringly, great English, and I like to spice things up a little bit. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so before we get into it, we do just want to start with an important disclaimer. This conversation is purely intended to share our own personal experience and challenges with food. It's not intended to take the place of medical advice or treatment from your personal physician. The opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the individual, and in no way should this be taken as medical advice. This episode may be triggering. If you think you may be encountering patterns of disordered eating, binge eating, or you have felt triggered in some way, please seek further professional support via the Butterfly Foundation website or the www.eatingdisorders.org.au because, we are going to be talking a little bit about eating patterns of, distorted eating, a little bit about binge eating, life after competing, which is a massive, massive issue for some. And we're going to share a little bit of insight into Georgia and how she's going post-show. But before we get into it, I think it's really important for us to share our tip or craving of the week.
Start it. What's your tip or craving of the week?
All right. So because today was my little pamper day, I went and did
You're in a weird mood.
I'm in a weird mood again. All right.
Silly, goofy mood.
I'm in my goofy mood and I'm happy. So
love it.
And it's no surprise, it's because I've had my day of working from home in my element.
Yeah.
Serving my clients, doing things I love. So I went and did a photo shoot today with Will the osteo room. He is my osteo. He's also one of my really good mates. Anyway, he offered me in to do a little photo cheeky shoot for some business content that he did. So my recommendation is if you need an osteo, which I'm sure at some point in your life you will, and if you're like me and you're all locked up from being on your laptop or hunched over all the time, a good little release will be perfect. Also, if you've got bloody 4 leg days in your program like me and your glutes are DOMs all day every day.
Or DOMs all day every day. I think even in general, just like seeing an osteo just to get realigned or get a massage or get cracked.
Oh my God, how good is being cracked?
You know what? I'm a massive cracker. Like I crack my knuckles and just like my body a lot every day.
Really?
But as soon as an osteo touches my neck, like there's a guy that I go and see, and as soon as he touches my neck, I'm like, I actually can't cope with it. Like he never touches my neck because I'm like, no, get away from me.
That used to be me. I used to hate getting cracked. Like it's
just my neck.
Yep, same. Massive phobia. I thought I was going to become paralyzed if someone cracked me.
Yeah.
And so he's changed my opinion on cracking, and now I froth it. And like even when he does like the little back cracks where he like makes you lean on your side, he makes you lean on your side and does that crack. Stop. I love it. So my recommendation is my friend Will. So Will the osteo room. He's located in Melton. I mean, a bit of a hike, I know. But worth it for sure.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you recommending or tipping or craving for this week?
I am recommending. I went out for dinner last night with my friend James. We went to a pizza restaurant. It was in Collingwood and it was called Rita. I think it is Rita. Yeah, their pizza bases were unreal, and I'm a slut for anything truffle as well.
Oh, you're
I'm
a slut for
anything.
This is what we're talking about today.
Truffle is just like, it just gets me. It sends me.
What is the difference between a truffle pizza dough And
oh, sorry, no, it was just like a truffle pizza. It wasn't truffle dough.
Yep.
It was just truffle pizza. So it was smothered in truffle oil, mushrooms, cheese. Great for the gut. Great for
how
the
is
gut.
your digestion today after that?
I'm very bloated today, actually, because I topped it off with some ice cream, some Messina, and maybe a little bit of Yochi as well. So I'm not feeling too good about myself. But, it's another day.
Well, you know what? I think this is really good because obviously today we're going to be getting right into how we eat, what we eat, a comparison of Georgia and I, our day on a plate. And I think a really big touch point of today will be about how you are going post-show.
Yeah.
And whether you're sticking to your reverse diet, whether you feel like your relationship with food is doing well, whether we feel like, we're in our feels, it's challenging, it's difficult. So, yeah, what do we want to start with in terms of this episode today?
Maybe let's start with you. You're in a great mood today. I want to hear more about that. So how far out from your prep are you?
All right. So we go into 12 weeks out on Saturday, which is a couple of days away. So
that's come around so quick.
I remember when I was
at 20.
Yeah. So I remember starting at 20 weeks. What the fuck?
It literally goes like that. It goes like that.
Wow. So yeah, I started prep, like per se, like prep, 20 weeks out. Now we are 12 weeks out now, which means holy fucking shit, that just actually I just had that light bulb moment. Yeah. That's not far.
You know what's funny too? It's like when you get into like the single digits, when you're like, oh, I'm 9 weeks out, I'm 8 weeks out, your heart drops every time you say it. You're like, oh fuck, I'm so close. It's like literally 3 weeks away, 2 weeks away, 1 week away.
Literally. So, okay, in terms of my day on a plate now and how I'm eating, so when I started 20 weeks out, I was eating very much flexibly. So my calories.
Are you happy to share your calories? What were you on?
All right. Before I do share my calories, we're going to preface this again. We say this every episode, but take our calories as with a grain of salt. Also, don't go and copy them. What I eat is very different to how you eat. And I think this is really important for us to kind of go into today about what my calories are versus what your calories were and the differences in how we both are entering or how we entered prep. Yeah. So
everyone's different too. Like
that's right.
Even just with like my show day, there was girls that were eating 2,500 calories and that was literally peak week and their own peak condition. So it's all it's all based off individual, your individual self.
And I think a lot of people want to know how, right? So like how can you get from only being able to have 1,000 calories in your prep peak week versus how to get to 2,500 calories? And the answer, like the short answer, because we could do a whole new episode on this. Yeah. But the short answer is like take your time. Don't go into a prep immediately. Like build muscle over time. Just because you've been training for 2 years doesn't mean you need to go and compete. Like build your calories up, build your metabolism up. That's what I did. So
take it from me. The last thing that you want to like do or the goal when you're in peak week, you want to be on high calories. Yeah. Like even in your peak week or the week before your peak week, the higher your calories are, like the better you're going to feel and like just your whole experience is going to be.
And the better your transition will be in your reverse diet.
Yes. Let's preface that.
Which we'll get into, yeah? So,
but back to how you're feeling.
Back to how I'm feeling. So, my calories are really high. So, I'm extremely grateful. I've put in a lot of work to get to that point. So I started my prep. So when I finished my surplus with Belle, I was doing a surplus up until obviously the day that I started prep. So I was eating 2,600 to 2,700 calories. With that said, as we all do, there are times on the weekend we don't track everything. So I could definitely guarantee that I was eating plus 3,000 calories, right? So
very easy to do.
My body was eating easily over 3,000 calories a day. We entered prep. Now that pretty much stayed the same. So I have 2 sets of macros. So basically 2,400 calories is what I started with 5 days of the week. And then on my rest days, it would be 2,200, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So back then we were following basically half of it was meal plan and then half of it was flexible dieting. So basically I got I just realized how much I'm saying basically. what I did is I had 3 meals were planned for me, and then I had 2 meals which were flexible. So my flexible meals was dinner and my snack, which is technically my breakfast. So I eat differently on my school days versus my working from home days.
And when you say meals planned for you, were these like Belle had prepped these for you, or?
No, I wish she'd prepped them for me.
No, she told you what to eat. She told you what to eat.
Yep. Yep. So like I said, starting out, half meal plan, half flexible dieting.
Yeah.
We're now 12 weeks out and I'm pretty much going with a full meal plan. Yeah. The reins are going to be brought right in 10 weeks out, and I will be, completely following a meal plan at 10 weeks out. No questions asked, including my weekends, guys. I will be fucking following a meal plan, which for those of you who know me, I am anti-meal plan usually. As I preach on my Like Your Fitness page, I think that they are definitely worth it in some situations. Like when you're competing, you do need a meal plan to follow. But for the general person, I think unless you're educated about nutrition, like a meal plan's only going to set you up for failure. But 10 weeks out, we're doing a meal plan.
Yeah.
And then at the moment, so I'm 12 weeks out, I've got my snack and dinner is still flexible, but I've got set macros to hit. So my macros, I had a fucking cut on the weekend.
What are you sitting at now?
So on Tuesday, I should say, that's my check-in day with Belle, and my calories have now dropped to 2,200 and 2,000.
That's not too bad.
And can I just say, yes, for the everyday person, that is a lot of food. For me, I'm fucking starving.
Yeah. But you still like, it's not a drastic drop for you to like, you'll still obviously feel the effects from that, but you're 100%. Not going to be, you're not going to have severe brain fog, or like your body's not going to be like,
nah,
you're not going to be how I was 3 weeks ago.
No, I'm bloody thriving. I'm not struggling at all. Like clearly my energy today, I've got so much energy.
And that feeling of like, obviously not being hungry, you don't want to feel hungry, but that feeling of like not being too full is like also a good feeling. It's actually nice.
I'm feeling lean. Like I'm definitely trimming down.
Digestion's probably
my digestion's good. Great. Yeah. Although we'll go through my day on a plate, then we'll go through your day on a plate.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about what has changed since prep. Yeah. So what's changed is I am no longer drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
So I used to have some, a few cheeky wines on the weekend.
In prep?
Few beveraginos. I would have, I would fit in a wine, like a wine or two.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't drinking, binge drinking, but it was definitely like I'm going to have a wine with my dinner, like on the weekend for sure. And then my weekends were still like I was going out for brunch, having eggs on toast. I was getting my almond lattes, like still having the fun things, yeah?
Yeah.
And then I was going to a cafe. I was getting my peanut butter toast and shit like that. And I used to still also dine out. Like I'd still be able to get away with having a meal out on the weekend and, having that little bit of an extra higher calorie day. Now, all that's out of the window. So even when my friends are like, all right, tell me what your macros are, like we'll cook something together. I'm like, no.
I was going to say that's the best.
No, as in that is the best. But what I'm saying is like now that we're getting closer out, these are the sacrifices that are starting to come into play.
Yeah.
So me, when I flexible diet out of comp, I'm like, fake away, take away, eat a meal out here and there, have a few drinks, all good. And I have a very well-rounded, flexible, balanced approach to nutrition.
You're at that point now where it's like there's not really much room for error. So it's like you can't be doing things like that because even though you have tracked it, it's not 100% accurate.
No. And this is what I have definitely come to the realization of in a comp prep where I am getting on stage naked, half naked.
Yeah. Being a sassy, sexy biatch.
Yes.
So there's
just no room for error.
There's no room for error.
Nah. And it's a light bulb switch. It's so different to when you're out of prep. Like there's so much more willpower.
So much more. And it's sorry to cut you off, but you don't even negotiate with yourself. Like it's not even an option.
Nah.
To even like you could have Biscoff in front of me in prep.
Yeah.
Nah, doesn't like love it, but won't overindulge.
Won't be tempted.
Out of prep, forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it.
That's exactly right though.
So it's like, the light bulb switch moment. It's like you don't even there's no room for error. You don't negotiate with yourself. It is what it is. You do what you do to get to the stage.
That's right. And we've spoken about this for sure. So yeah, like for example, the weekend, right? I had gone away to Echuca and it was my brother-in-law's 30th birthday. Every single person around me was drinking. There was pizzas, all these caramel slices, lemon slices, all of this food, right? And Belle and I had spoken and I did eat one meal out. Yeah. So I ate one meal out, but everything else was taken with me. So a tip of advice is if you are going away on holidays, go and get meal prep company meals done for you, because then you can literally just take that with you. You know what the macros are. You can barcode scan it. You're not cooking while you're away, and you literally just need to put it in the microwave, heat it up, and then barcode scan the meal or quick add it into MyFitnessPal. You're done. You know exactly what you're eating.
Or you could just do a big meal prep.
Yeah.
And like have them in containers and freeze them, because that's what I used to do. Like
100%. Yeah.
If I would go away, I'd just take all that with me. So same.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. 100%. So you could do that. I decided to take my meal prep with me, and then I ate to my meal plan besides one meal tracked out. Although did
you feel tempted?
I was fucking oath tempted. Yeah. But
I was fucking oath tempted.
Confession, I did have.
What did you eat?
So on Sunday, I did have 4 caramel slices, the little mini bite ones.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And guaranteed, scale weight went up.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because it's like you're being so rigid now. It's like anything like that,
it goes straight up.
Yeah. And it's not actual like kg weight. It's just inflammation.
It's inflammation, 100%. But this is it's so funny, because when I speak to my clients and they're like, oh, I just had a little bit of this, or just had a little bit of that, I just, had a mouthful of this, mouthful of that.
I didn't have that much.
I didn't have that much, but I ate something healthy. Like, yes, for the everyday person, that is fine.
Yeah.
You are going to get a scale weight fluctuation. And this is what I want to preface, right? People, you will get a scale weight increase when you do that stuff, okay? When you're in prep, you can't afford to be doing that.
No.
You just can't. So yes, I had a calorie drop this week, and I will be having cardio in 2 weeks' time.
Yep. Do you know what cardio you're adding in? Just block my face.
I'm going to be having, she's going to be putting in HIIT, I think, because of time. I'm just, I've got to be time efficient.
I think you'll be like, you're nearly ready already. So like you're not going to have to be doing excessive amounts of cardio, which is good.
Yeah.
But so overall you're feeling good?
So overall I'm good. My food is decent, but yes, it is starting to become more rigid, but I'm okay with it because there's a goal in place and energy is still high. Yeah.
There's an end goal.
There is an end goal. But let's talk about you now. So let's move on to how you're eating and how you've transitioned outside. How you've transitioned to the outside normal
to the outside world.
To the outside world. Right. Let's get into it.
So I think what date is it today?
The 10th or so?
Yeah, so I'm 4 weeks on Saturday.
Yeah.
Post show. That's gone so fucking quick.
It's gone so quick.
I actually feel like I've just blinked and it's gone.
Because I was like, what do you mean it's 2 weeks? But no, it's 4.
No, 4 weeks. So right now, mentally I'm feeling a lot better, just in terms of like no brain fog. So I said last week with when Michael was here. But mentally feeling a lot better. I feel like I'm not losing the plot. My thinking's a lot better. Just everything mentally is a lot better. Physically, I'm feeling better too. The gym I've got.
Yeah. Is your training better now?
Training is a lot better, which I'm loving. And I'm still very motivated to go to the gym and lift heavy and do well in the gym. Because I know a lot of girls lose that. But my relationship with food is definitely needing work. I think, I don't know, like this whole prep, I knew my reverse was coming, but I'd never really just like planned for it or like thought about it, because it was such so far ahead. I just didn't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like my relationship with food is definitely affected. I'm still just trying to balance going back and staying somewhat adherent to my meal plan, and trying to balance eating out as well.
All right, because let's talk about this. You in prep were so rigid to the point where you did not deter from that plan at all.
So I wouldn't even because what you just said before about tracking in a couple of glasses of wines here and there, I didn't even do that.
Yeah.
Like I was
because you knew like a few of this, a few of that, not being 100% like able to know.
Yeah.
You just did not leave any room for error. Like you crossed every T and every dot, right? So you went from that extreme, okay, which is an extreme, and what you were eating was extreme, right?
Yeah.
And because in comparison to say the calories that I'm on now, like what you obviously weren't on 1,000 calories for the whole time, but like on average, like how many calories were you eating during, you know, let's just say from about 4 weeks out?
From about 4 weeks out, I was on 1,200.
Okay, before that.
Majority of my prep,
Yeah.
I was sitting between 1,400 to 1,600.
Yeah.
So I think I was on about, between that for the longest part of my prep, which is still like, it's not a whole lot of food, but like it's somewhat of enough.
Yep.
But there was something I was going to say. I've just lost my train of thought.
Well, going from say 1,400 to 1,600 calories and having so much rigidity.
Oh yeah, and I was
to where we're at now.
I was more so just from the time I started my prep, I was so rigid.
Yeah,
like didn't allow any like I was still macro tracking. Like I was still creating my own meal plans, but I wasn't incorporating. Like I wasn't giving myself the like balance to go out and eat dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
so it was kind of like you were flexible dieting, but in a way where you were
flexible dieting.
Like, yeah, that's what I mean. You were choosing the meals that you ate that fit your macros, but you were very rigid with ensuring that you hit those macros to the gram, like very closely. And this is what a lot of people don't get with flexible dieting, because there's extremes. So you can flexible diet and have the whole, if it fits your macros, eat whatever the fuck I want and I'm going to wing it and I'm going to track as I go. And by the end of the day, I haven't hit my protein and I've hit my protein, but I'm either way under in calories, way over in calories, not hitting carbs, going over in fats, whatever it is. And you're just like going blind. Yeah. Whereas there's a strategy behind flexible dieting, which is what you did. So there's almost like you're flexible dieting, but there's still some level of rigidity to it. Yeah. You know, which is what you did.
And there's still some discipline to what you're doing as well.
Yeah. Like, I don't care what anyone says, but I think in order to be good at flexible dieting, you need to still forward plan, and you still need to have that 80% of wholesome nutrient dense foods, and then 20% is allocated to, okay, I'm going to choose this that's less nutrient dense. It might be something that I love, like AKA chocolate, ice cream, whatever, but only 20% of your diet should entail that. Like 80%, you need to be making sure that you're having your veggies, you're having your protein, your animal meat, or if you're vegan, your plant-based protein, but
not plant-based meat.
Yeah,
definitely not plant-based meat. That's just full of shit.
Wouldn't know. I'm not freaking vegetarian.
It's so bad for you. Like anything that's like a mock meat, I don't even know what.
You may as well just eat meat.
If you're reading the ingredients of something and you don't even know how to pronounce the word,
like sugar-free shit.
No, but like, you know, when you look at ingredients of certain things and you're like, I don't even know how to pronounce that word. You probably shouldn't be putting it in your body if you don't know how to even know what it is.
That's fair.
So like, that's fair. All mock meats are like that.
Yeah.
It's
disgusting. But again, with the way that you did flexible dieting, because of the calories that you were on, where you were also starting to notice like, okay, I could have a burger, but I'm only going to eat the burger, or I could have a massive bowl of like veggies and meat and spud like potatoes and I'm getting way more food volume than if I were to just eat that burger. And that's what people also start to learn when they're on low calories is, how can I get more food volume for less calories and actually feel full and actually feel satiated and not starving.
Yeah. There was actually a meal that I was making when I was like probably 3 weeks out. It was purely just for volume. And it was,
what was it?
Sliced zucchinis.
Yeah.
It was like 400 grams of sliced zucchinis with 200 grams of mushrooms. And then I would
bake it or something.
No, I put it in the saucepan, and there was so much of it. Put maple syrup on top to give it like a honey glaze, in quotation marks. And then I would put, you know that spice garam masala? It's an Indian spice. Yeah. I would put a little bit of that with paprika on it. Chef's kiss. That was unreal. Thinking about that now, I'm like, I would never make that.
That's gross. Yeah.
Not gross. It was delicious, but the things that you do just
for more food volume.
And less
when
calories. When you're so restricted.
Maybe we should get into our actual days on a plate then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me what do you eat for breakfast? What's your go-to breakfast meal in prep?
All right, I'll talk about the structure of my day.
Okay.
Yeah. So I train in the morning.
Yeah.
And I always train fueled. Always. Whereas contrary to that, you train fasted.
Yeah. Always.
And we both train at the same time.
Yeah.
Have you ever trained have you ever trained fueled?
If I'm training in the evenings, sometimes.
Do you train better?
Yeah.
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 So I encourage anyone who has the calories to play with, eat before you train, even if you train early. And I'm telling you, I train at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. That's early for some people. There's no way they can
I must start doing that as of tomorrow.
Trust me, your fucking training is going to be so much better.
What do you have? What's your pre-workout?
Right, my pre-workout would vary between any of the following. So I would have an English muffin with peanut butter or with Biscoff and rice malt syrup. And rice malt syrup is basically an alternative to honey. Some reason I just prefer the taste of rice malt syrup. You can get it in the health aisle of your supermarket. So I do that, or I would do, if my calories are getting lower, I'll do a corn thin or 2 corn thins. So corn thins are lower in calories. So I might do 2 corn thins with peanut butter, rice malt syrup, or Biscoff and rice malt syrup. The other thing you could do is like a banana.
Yeah.
So that's something that's quick, easy on the go. Some people love LCM bars. I'm not really into that. I just like or you might do cereal. So like the Exo Crunch cereal, for example. What you want for your pre-workout is something that's high carb and something that's going to be absorbed really quickly and used as an energy source, right?
Yeah, and you want to kind of take it like 45 minutes to an hour before.
Yeah. Well, I only take it 20 minutes before because of time. No. But I do that. So basically, you just want a high carb and quickly absorbed carbohydrate into the bloodstream. Yeah. So that's going to be used for fuel. So that's my pre-workout. Then post-workout. So let's talk about the days that I am teaching, because I am still a teacher at this point in time. So I will train in the morning. Then I get ready at the gym, and then on my way to work, I need something on the go. So I have a smoothie. My smoothie, again, this would vary depending on the calories that I've got to play with. So when I was in a surplus, this smoothie that I had would have 500, 600 calories in it.
That's a big bitch.
That's a big bitch.
That's a big bitch.
So I would have like stuff that's calorie dense, right? So it would be banana or oats or rice flakes. And then it would be, I would swap a lot of people would do water as their liquid. I would be doing rice milk or coconut water because it's high carb. Yeah. Then, or oat milk, something like that. Then, fruit, spinach, my protein powder, because obviously we want protein after our workout. So then it would be protein powder in there, frozen fruit, ice, that kind of thing. And I always, always, always have my Everyday Health Greens powder.
Have to.
From Nutrition Capital. It helps me add to my micronutrient status. So
they're actually like probably the only greens that taste good.
You don't understand. Let's just do a quick little plug.
I do understand. They're actually so good.
Let's do a quick little plug. So the Everyday Health Greens powder is from Nutrition Capital. I get the mango flavor. It's 1 scoop into my smoothie. How easy, like just to add your greens, you know what I mean? Like,
or even I usually just put it with water and sip on it.
100%. And I recommend that to my clients in the afternoon when they have that sugar craving. So when you've got that sugar craving in the afternoon, like with your lunch, generally people want something sweet after lunch. This is when people have their Pepsi Max or their Coke or their Red Bull or whatever, right? So to replace that, because I've actually got a few clients going through this at the moment. Yeah. So to replace that caffeine that you're having in the afternoon, because we don't really want to be having caffeine after 1 p.m. So have the Everyday Health Greens powder.
Whoopsies.
Have the Everyday Health. Don't worry. Since I've fucking been in prep, I have so much more caffeine.
I'm telling you. It's about to go all downhill from here.
I know. So have the Everyday Health Greens. It will give you energy. It's going to help with digestion. It's going to add to micronutrient status. So you're going to get, a load up of greens. It's got, vitamin C, vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, all the essentials. Yeah.
Everything you need and more in this little scoop.
Yeah. Easy to get in, right?
Yep.
It boosts your immune system.
Yep.
So fights against disease and your digestion is going to be better. It's good for thyroid health as well. I'm telling you, everything. It's even got magnesium.
Everything you need in this little scoop.
So the name says it all. Everyday health. Have it every single day. You won't be,
Nutrition capital is where you'll find it.
There you go.
So you have your
smoothie for breakfast.
You pre-workout food.
Okay. Yep. So pre-workout.
You're going on a tangent here.
Fucking hell, Kayla. Jesus Christ. Expect nothing less.
Trust her.
Peanut butter, rice malt syrup on my English muffins.
Yeah.
Before I train. After I train, smoothie.
Yeah.
Then it's recess at school. Actually, I get to school and then I have my coffee. Long black.
Long black.
With the stevia drops from Nutrition Capital.
They're good.
And that helps you save calories. Yeah. So the calories in a coffee, if it's an almond latte, about 80 to 100 calories. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So instead of having that, I have a long black, which literally gives me, it's 5 calories. Yeah. 2 to 5 calories, right? And then I'll teach, obviously. Then it's recess time. That is usually my break. So most people have their overnight wheat bix, their pro oats, their baked oats, whatever the fuck they have as their breakfast. I have that at my recess time. Yeah. So smoothie is my breakfast usually, and then my recess is when I have my oats. So at the moment we're alternating between a couple of different recipes. It's either creamy rice or overnight wheat bix or pro oats. Yeah. Prots or pro oats. How do you say it?
Protein oats. I just say oats.
Yeah.
Because my oats always got
There's a debacle about that, isn't it?
Oh.
Prots or pro oats. Anyway, I have that.
Same.
It's got me oats, protein powder in that again to add in extra protein.
What protein is your go-to? Protein powder.
So in my smoothie, I do collagen protein. Yeah. And then in my breakfast, like with food, I do a whey protein isolate. And this is a cheeky shout out to Primabolics, who do a whey protein powder that is really good on the gut. Now, a lot of protein powders are really shit on the gut.
Yeah, bad.
And give you really bad digestion. If you're also someone who's quite sensitive to dairy and you get skin issues, dairy is a problem.
Literally me.
If you have skin issues, gut issues, you're better off going with a collagen protein powder,
or like a plant-based,
or a plant-based protein. So I previously had to opt for that, but Primabolics come out with this protein which is really good on the gut. It contains bare minimal lactose, and the lactose, basically there's an enzyme called lactase that breaks down lactose, right? And lactose is what is dairy, and people who are dairy intolerant lack that enzyme that breaks down lactose.
The protein's actually quite thin, not thin, but it's light. Yeah. When you have it as well. Yeah. So it's not like heavy, you don't feel cluggy or like just heavy after it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So it's really good because this particular whey protein tastes fucking unreal. It doesn't have all the artificial sweeteners in there. So it is like a stevia based, which is a natural sweetener. As opposed to sucralose, which is, anyway, again, we're going off on a tangent.
I literally just looked at the clock. I'm like, I reckon we're about 45 minutes into Kayla when she's only on recess.
Fucking hell. So, what are you eating a day?
Fucking tell Kayla.
All right. So let's wrap it up. I have, you need to get that protein powder though. Seriously.
I've got some.
As in like the audience, get that protein powder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Get onto it.
So my protein oats. Yeah.
All right. So now we're at lunch.
All right. Lunch is usually like an explosive custom macros meal.
Yeah.
So they just cook all my meal prep for me. I tell them my macros, and that is just generally going to be carb source, protein, veg. Yeah. Simple days. That's it. Yeah. Then I might have like a little soda water or a kombucha as a drink to have my little sweet tooth. And then from there, I'll probably have like a snack in between dinner and lunch, which who knows what that could be. It might be a little bit of Exo Crunch, might be like a little cookie or some dark chocolate, corn thins with peanut butter, that kind of thing. And then dinner is again protein sauce, protein sauce, carb sauce and veg. So my lunch at the moment is pasta, chicken pasta. And it's like a penne pasta. Then my dinner at the moment is like
what pasta?
Chicken pesto.
No, what like is it?
Smart? Is it the smart one?
So I'm actually I recommend that to my clients, but because my protein's already like I'm exceeding it already.
Yeah.
I'm actually just going with gluten-free pasta at the moment. So Belle is someone who just likes everyone on gluten-free.
Yeah.
I am no issue with gluten. I can eat gluten, but I'm just following orders at this point. So
Just following orders at this point.
so she swears by this buckwheat pasta, and I'm like,
I've
Belle,
seen her post that.
and I'm like,
pancakes.
it looks like fucking shit. It's brown. And I said to her, I'm like, I'm not really a fan. So she's given me this other gluten-free pasta, which I'm about to try this week. So yeah, pasta
Buckwheat's quite good for you though.
It is. Pasta for lunch, and then rice or potatoes with extra lean beef mince. It's either extra lean beef mince or kangaroo for dinner.
Yum.
So to get my red meat in, yeah? And then dessert is yogurt, protein powder, Exo Crunch. Fucking get on the Exo Crunch, hey.
Oof.
So good. And of course, adrenal switch is my little hot chocky before bed. Stress, sleep, recovery, chocolate. Fucking, as you would say, chef's kiss.
Mwah, chef's kiss. Kayla has now just taken everything that I've said and used it as her vocabulary, and I love it.
That's my meal plan at this point.
That adrenal switch is so good.
Oh,
Like, that was my savior through
Fucking
prep.
oath.
That was my savior through prep. I felt like I literally could not go to bed unless I had it.
yeah.
It hit my sweet craving. I had a good sleep. It was just like, I was getting a warm cuddle when I was going to bed.
We need to do some video content for the listeners on like our supplement stack and what we get from Nutrition Capital. We'll put it on the Evolve to Thrive page. We'll put a reel or something together with all of our sups.
Sounds good.
All right, on to you now, my love.
My meal plan. I'm not going to ramble as much as you do.
Do we want to do? I think we should compare what your meal plan was, how you ate in prep versus now. Let's navigate this.
Do you know what, to be fair, like I said at the start that I love cooking and I love to get experimental, but I usually only do that on the weekends.
Yeah.
Because I do like to stick to a meal plan. I do like to keep things very, very basic and the same from Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday.
Because it's easier.
It's easier. And like I know exactly what I'm eating. I enjoy what I'm eating.
It's easier to track it too.
So much easier. So much easier. But mine are a bit more like, my meals are probably a bit more like tastier and like exciting than yours. I do enjoy I do enjoy cooking. I do enjoy my food, but
Start your day. No pre-workout?
No, I run on empty. I have my pre-workout drink. And then I'll have brekkie. And brekkie, I have my baked oats. I either have my baked oats or my overnight wheat bix. I'm really into my overnight wheat bix at the moment. Yeah. And usually I'll just do the wheat bix with Bee Raw protein powder. It's a plant-based one, and my heart rate. My heart rate is increasing just thinking about it. I have been on it for about 7 years now. It's so good. So good. Salt caramel. Mwah, chef's kiss. Anyway, so I'll do that with Greek yogurt. Pop that on top. Have to drizzle some Biscoff or some dark chocolate. Of course. With some berries.
Better get your fibre in, doll.
Have to somehow get my fibre in. And then I'll either do that or my gorgeous baked oats. And then
are we doing the recipe on the baked oats or saving it to the end?
We'll save it to the end. But do you know, I'm finding that if I have that, I love having that for breakfast. Mm-hmm. But I find if I have that at about my lunchtime or like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, my blood sugar levels are better if I'm having it later, not first thing in the morning.
Yes. That's why I stretch mine out too.
Yeah. But I go to bed every night looking forward to waking up and having my breakfast because that's how obsessed I am with it. Like it's the first meal I want to have. Yeah. But I do need to.
Isn't it the best though when you wake up and you're looking forward to like a particular meal that you've made?
Every meal that I'm eating, I'm enjoying.
That's great.
Yeah, I love it.
And that's how dieting and eating in general should be though.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It's all about how you cook it, the spices that you use.
What spice? Okay, talk about the next meal.
I'll tell you my lunch. So my lunch I'm really loving too.
Do you have a snack though?
Yeah, I get there. So
you've got to do sequential order. Brekkie, then snack.
No, I do brekkie.
Then lunch.
And then because when it gets to about 2 o'clock after my lunch, I get very snacky and
you save all your calories for then later in the day.
Well, my snacks are quite low. Mm-hmm. So I have time slots. That's when I eat.
Let's break them down.
10:30 is when I have my brekkie.
Yep.
Then
your first meal.
Yeah.
Do you have coffee?
I do. I have 2 coffees before brekkie.
Okay.
2 coffees and then
what's your coffee order?
I'm still a basic bitch with my long black.
Yeah.
Long black, dash of almond, and then sometimes, depending on how cheeky.
She fucking has a sweetener, mate.
Depends how cheeky I'm feeling.
She has a sweetener.
I'll either have a stevia in there or I've just started doing sugar-free
the drops?
syrup.
Syrup.
Yeah. So, of course, caramel, of course. And then I'll do my green juice as well.
Yeah.
But my first meal is, by 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
Lunch, I'm doing a mix between I'm getting excited talking about it.
Oh no, she loves it. This is why we dedicated the whole fucking episode to food.
I'm doing a mix between pumpkin, roast pumpkin, and some Spud Light. The spices that I use on it, this is crucial. Garam masala, a mix of that. Cajun. Why are you looking at me like that?
Fancy.
Oh, it's an Indian spice, but
Yeah.
it's quite sweet. Garam masala is quite sweet. Anyway, so that Cajun, a little bit of garlic powder, great for your gut.
Yeah, if I had that, I'd be on the floor farting my ass off.
Yeah. And then I just either have, what else is in it? I either put chicken or red meat with it and some veggies.
Of course, you need your veggies.
Always. And then, of course, the peri nays. Love that. And then snack, I'll either have like a crumpet and some watermelon. And then my second snack is an apple and an LCM bar. I've only just implemented these LCM bars. Loving it. And then dinner, I've had this same salad. I think I spoke about it.
Yeah, you love this salad.
I've had it. This is probably 3 years in a row that I've had it.
Yeah.
It's just loving it. Potato, chicken, your basic bitch salad. That's pretty much my meal. Monday to Friday, exact same. And then on the weekends, I'll cook and switch it up a little bit.
Let's talk about how your weekends were like what you ate on the weekend in prep versus now. I think it's really important now for us to move on to how you eat out of prep, like what's changed, because it's obviously the weekends that's different. And let's get into, this transition of reverse dieting.
Look, I'm still eating somewhat the same. Like the dinners are still the same. But if I'm going to my parents' place for dinner, or if I'm going to a friend's place for dinner, I'll just basically eat what they're eating. So I'm trying to be a bit more flexible with, implementing new foods, eating more, and. What was the question?
So
just lost my train of thought.
How did you eat on the weekend? Like what was your day on a plate on the weekend in prep?
So I would mix it up between like pastas. I would save a lot of my calories to have like big bowls of pasta.
I was going to say you would purposely meal prep things that you would look forward to on the weekend.
100%.
Yeah.
It was a mix between like pizzas, pastas, like
that's what I do now too.
Macro-friendly burgers.
Yeah.
I would love doing like the Tip Top burgers with the fries.
We did these multiple times to accommodate for this.
Love them. That was pretty much what I kind of like cycled. And then every now and then I would do like an Asian like infusion.
A noodles or something.
Yeah, noodles or what else did I cook? I feel like I cook so much stuff. It's all a blur now.
She's actually got like dining out food. So okay. So what's changed is you are now dining out a lot more.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 weeks out, you've eaten out a lot more. You're also at work. Let's talk about this. There's a lot of people bringing you food, baking you food.
Yeah.
And the temptation is just you have no self-control right now. As in.
No, I don't.
It's a lot hard. Okay,
no, I don't.
Okay,
let's talk. You've said it exactly right. Like I don't have any like. I feel it's really hard to explain. The feeling is like it's so intense, and when you're in prep, a switch is flicked. So it doesn't matter what your mind is trying to tell you or what your body's trying to tell you.
The answer is no. I'm not having it.
The answer is no. But for some reason, now that I have freedom, but I don't have all this. I don't have all this freedom because it's like you still have to be somewhat rigid. You still have to be somewhat adherent. But that just
it goes out the window.
It goes out the window, and I'm like, I feel like I'm at the moment struggling to get a grip on that
and find that balance.
And find the balance. And I feel like my body's still trying to adjust as well. Like my hormones are still shot. All my levels are still trying to balance out again. So I think even when I eat, my body or my mind's telling me that you're still hungry.
Yeah. And you keep eating.
And I just keep eating and eating. It's like I physically can feel that I'm full.
Yeah.
But my mind's like, no, you need more food. You need more food. You need more food.
Yeah.
And you keep getting to a point where you're just like, if I put one more thing in my body, I'm going to explode.
You're going to be sick.
Yeah. For the first 2 weeks post-show, I was eating so much to the point where I was going to bed dizzy and like almost sick.
You're joking.
Yeah. And I think like my body was I know I had a lot of acid reflux.
Yeah.
But that's obviously my body just like adjusting to the mix of foods. But
what have you been eating that you weren't eating in prep?
I'm having a lot more yochi.
Okay.
So yochi is a weakness of mine.
Okay.
Food wise, still.
Are you having structured meals throughout the day?
Yes.
So I always go to say, when I go to say Michael, I say Peter. I don't know why. Anyway,
because you're just looking at him.
Michael, your coach. Yeah, he's looking me in the eyes. So your coach, Michael, you've got a reverse diet plan.
Yes.
Let's talk about what your reverse diet plan is supposed to look like versus what you're actually doing. Yes.
So he's basically straight off stage. He bumped me up to maintenance,
which was
1750.
Okay.
And I'm still on that because I can't get myself under control at the moment. But he's basically, put me straight on maintenance, upped my fats, upped my carbs, and
protein the same?
Protein's still relatively low.
Yeah.
But it's just fats and carbs at the moment just to try and get more food, like me eating more food.
And in food that you like as well.
Yeah. And I have structured meals, my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the foods are all quite still very similar.
Like similar meals to what you were having.
Yeah, similar meals. It's not too, like I'm not implementing too many different foods other than like when I go out for yochi or when I go out for pizza.
So what's changed is you're just dining out more.
Dining out more, but also like it's even just food at home.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, for example, like I've cut up watermelon, for my meal prep, but I'll just sit there picking it. Or I'll have my crumpets and I'll just have some crumpets, or I'll have a bite of this, I'll have a bite of that, have a scoop of it, have some chocolate. Chocolate, I think, is probably my weakness at the moment. Yeah. I can't get that, like, it's just
no off button. You can't stop. So when you're in your meal plan, what is it, 2 squares of chocolate?
You know the no branded
the no sugar chocolate.
Yeah. So those ones I've been like melting and drizzling over my breakfast, but they're just
while you're there making it, 100%. You have a couple of squares.
100%. Or I have a little bowl of yogurt, add a bit of fruit onto it, melt a bit of Biscoff. And in my head at the time, I'm just like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
But then after I eat it, I'm like,
fuck.
Why did you just do that?
Yeah.
Why did you just do that? And then like earlier in the day, if I'm at work, if there's snacks at work, I'll have a little bit of this, have a bit of that. By the time I've gotten home,
you've consumed an extra 500, 600 calories.
Oh, more.
Yeah.
More.
What are the things that are at your work that are disturbing this process?
We have this snack box at work.
And what's in the snack box? We want to know. What's in the snacks?
Look, I haven't done myself any justice here because I've added to the snack box. Right?
Of course she has. Were you someone in prep that had a so what stash of all the foods you were going to eat after prep?
Do you know what's funny? Like I made this list in my phone of every single place that I want to go to after my prep.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon there was close to 20 restaurants on there. And now that I'm out of it,
you don't want to go.
I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Because now I know that I can go there.
You don't need to.
I don't need to.
Yeah. And what I'm going to say, a massive red flag is if you're currently in a comp prep, and I'm going to save all you girlies listening that are in a comp prep doing this, I'm going to save you the heartache when you go through a blowout phase after your show. So do not do that. Like, do not stash all this chocolate, all these lollies, all these food.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what people do is they have like a secret like stash or box, and they add to this. So then because what they're training in their brain is, I'm not allowed to eat this now, but that means when I'm out of prep, I'm going to fucking go to town on all this food.
Yeah.
Which is what you don't want. This is when the binge eating cycle happens. This is when yo-yo dieting happens. This is when all or nothing happens, is when you're so restrictive in prep and then you have all this food. So you didn't do that. You didn't have all this
I had
stash.
a few Easter eggs back from Easter.
Yeah.
But I didn't create like a full stack for myself.
Good.
But with
thank God.
But I think like on what you said as well, like I have been struggling with my reverse diet, and I struggled a lot last time with it. But
do you think you're in the same position you were last year with your reverse diet? Or?
Yeah, I think so. And I think my relationship with food has definitely changed. But what I'm trying to say is that I think it's also a very normal thing. Like it's very normal to blow out, and it's just not being so hard on yourself, because it is normal. Everyone, what we're doing is an extreme end of like, it's an extreme sport. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's an extreme process. And then to come out the other end and try and balance, quotation marks, normal eating or normal life is very, very difficult. It's easy just to consume whatever you want. Yep. So I haven't done a very good job of explaining that. It's just more so just being kinder to yourself and knowing that like it is a process and it's not going to last like how I'm feeling and what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I think what you're trying to say here is last time you went through a reverse diet and you had the impact of completely not having control over your intake and feeling deprived in prep to the point where you do have, again, like all this freedom post show, and that lack of ability to control what you're eating and that lack of control of refraining from the temptation, you know, and saying no and actually sticking to a reverse diet. Because when we're in prep, and I can remember you saying this, is you're like, I really want to take my reverse diet seriously. Like I really want to take my reverse diet seriously. I don't want the same result or the same outcome as last time. Now we're in the situation now. Being in the situation is completely different to saying I'm going to stick to my reverse diet when you're in the middle of prep.
100%.
All right, let's unpack this because you're now in this situation now where you're finding this very hard again. Yeah. So I want to compare your reverse diet between last time and now. You've said that it's still hard now and you feel like your relationship with food is better, but it's still fucking hard. Yeah. And like the short answer, give us the short answer. Are you sticking to your reverse diet?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So how badly do you think you're not sticking to the reverse diet? Like what is the extreme that you're doing now?
Are you talking about in terms of like food that I'm eating or like calories do you think I'm consuming?
Yeah, well I think just deterring from the plan. Like you've got your set calories of 1750. Yeah. And then so you mentioned to me that you're able to stick to the meal plan that you set for yourself for the week. So you're still flexibly dieting. Yeah. You've got your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, your snacks. You've got your day planned out and you're still prepping all your food and you're still regimented with all of that. Yeah. What's the issue? It's after, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's like, I think it's when for me, it's when I get home and then there's the chocolate that's sitting there, or it's like I don't know, something else that's sitting in the cupboard in the fridge that I have got for the week. Like I'll do a big shop and get a few actually, I'm leaving out one crucial part. You know how you uploaded a story the other day, you're like, don't ever go grocery shopping.
When you're hungry. Yeah.
I am
a slut for that.
Sucker. No. The scoop and weigh. The scoop and weigh. It gets me every time. Do you know what I say to myself? When I get to the car, I'm like, you're not going anywhere near the scoop and weigh. Stay the fuck away from it.
Your mind takes over. And as soon as I get in there,
my eyes like this, like looking over at it.
You've got no control.
I've got no control of my legs. I just find myself there. I find my hand in there, scooping it up, weighing it out, pressing the buttons, and then eating them. Like it's a really bad habit that I've got myself into.
What from the Scoopy station are you getting?
Okay, so at the moment I'm really loving the dark chocolate covered mint. So it's like they're like mint squares.
Yeah. Oh God. Yep.
And then there's
chocolate. You said chocolate coated pretzels.
Yep. So I do love them.
They're good.
I do love them. And then there's also those little biscuits, and they're not biscuits. They're like the soy.
The soy crisp.
They have them now chocolate covered soy crisps. And they're unreal.
So like how much of this are you scooping into?
So it's like I'm scooping like a normal amount, but it's like every time I go
you're having
shopping, yeah.
And you're not tracking it, obviously.
No. So I'll have them, and then I'll get home and then pick here. It's just a lot of picking.
Yeah. It's all this snacking and pantry eating and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's why do you think you have this urgency to have these things when you go home? Like, why do you think you feel peckish for snacks?
And it's not that I'm hungry because I get home and I'm about to make my dinner. I think it's because I've been so restrictive for so long, and now I think that I have all this freedom to be able to do that.
Yeah.
That I can just go and eat it now just because I can.
And you just go into fuck it mode.
Yeah, but I think also as well, like I'm just off the back end of a prep, so I think it's trying to balance and reminding myself that this food isn't going to go anywhere. I'm not missing out on eating it. It's going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, just
you don't need to eat it now.
You don't need to eat that now. Like, and it's Michael said this last week. Food that you are craving or food that you want is never as good as it tastes in the moment.
It's true.
You know,
so
like,
true.
Because like I'll look at some chocolate and I'm like, oh, that would be so good right now, and I'll eat it. I'm like,
was it worth it? Yeah,
no, it didn't hit. It didn't hit. But it's also being kind to myself.
I'm just
being kind to myself too, because I've made myself feel really guilty for it.
Yeah.
And feeling like, obviously trying to adjust to the weight gain as well. Like feeling horrendous in my body at the moment, not liking what I see in the mirror. And 4 weeks ago, I was stage lean, and now I'm like severely. It's one extreme to the next. I'm not comfortable in my body anymore.
So you literally feel like you've got a bit of body dysmorphia right now.
Yep. Like I would not, if it was summer, I would not put a bikini on.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
How do you care if I ask you how much weight you've gained post show?
I think so. When I was on stage, I was 59 kilos.
Yep.
And now I'm 69, 70.
Yeah, and it's 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how does
what's
this...
that, 11 kilos.
And how does this make you feel?
Horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous. Like it's trying to adjust to... And, you know, like you tell... When people genuinely ask you, like, how do you feel? How do you feel? And you try and explain that to them and they're just like, oh, you look great. You look great. I'm like, I feel fucking horrendous.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I think the reason that I'm asking you some really personal questions tonight, and I think that you've given me permission to talk about this.
Yeah.
And I think that you're not alone here.
Yeah.
And I feel like every single competitor out there, and anyone who's listening who has competed before or is planning to compete, wherever you're at, you might not ever have competed, but you're listening to this right now. Like, people go through this. People go through a calorie deficit. People go through a period of time where they are lean as fuck. And then they come out of that phase of their journey and it's like, cool, okay, now what? I can eat what I want when I want, and then they don't have that ability to have that balance. Like there's that on and off switch where it is I'm on and I'm not eating anything that's quote unquote bad, and then out of prep, then now you just don't have any self-control over these temptations. It's like,
but I think it's also people that are not in prep as well, like people that have actual eating disorders. It's your relationship and your outlook on food and the relationship that you have with food.
100%. And like we've said this disclaimer at the start about, you know, if you are feeling triggered in some way, then please seek professional help. And we want to really, preface that we just want to give insight into this and our personal experiences. And again, like this is just take it with a grain of salt, but also like if you are feeling triggered or some way, like this is not okay, and like but you're also not alone.
You're not
like
alone.
It's a massive issue, and I think that's why we're here, and this is why we want to talk about this, because there's so many people that go through this. I notice it on the daily with the clients that I work with, but you notice this through girls that you and guys that you speak to coming out of a prep, and you're not the minority here. Like this is a very common thing that 100%. Happens.
Like I know I've got friends that don't compete and don't take fitness as seriously as I do and are still having relationship issues with food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're making themselves feel so guilty for eating more than what they should, or they're just, and then that comes back to their body dysmorphia as well. And it's just like, it's a vicious cycle.
There's a number of things. And then I think maybe we go into like some ways to overcome this and like what you can do to manage this a bit better. And I think like what we do per se to manage this.
Yeah, I think the first and foremost is if you are experiencing that, do
seek help.
Like get help, because what we're about to say now is our own experiences, and this is what we personally do to help us. But if you are experiencing like that, definitely get help. And
I think it's important to notice, because a lot of the time you might not notice that you are, going through an eating disorder or distorted eating patterns. And we're going to touch on this lightly and we're going to bring it back to us.
I'm just laughing. Sorry, I just spat.
What?
I'm just laughing because it's like, sometimes you don't notice, and like when you do notice,
you catch yourself out.
I literally I'm about to admit something now to you guys, or not to you guys, but
to them. Go for it.
But we were speaking about it before, like there's habits or things that I'm doing that I'm catching myself out on. I'm like, that's really not healthy to do. Like just certain habits that I don't want to let slip. Yep. So people that do have those habits that are like sneaking their food or don't want to be caught eating by certain people, or I don't know, it's like
there's certain things that you do, right? Like you were talking about how you won't track something, and as in you'll remove something from your diary and allow room for something else.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you also spoke about not lying about it or whatever, right? Yeah. Or acting like you didn't have it. And this is, again, like this is the thing with like you need to be aware of what you're doing and pick up on the triggers that cause it, or, acknowledge what is triggering you to pantry eat. Acknowledge why you're having sugar cravings. Like, are you stressed? Did something shit happen to you? Did you have a bad day? Are you going through a breakup? Are you pissed off with someone?
And knowing that it is fixable too. Like you're not just going to be stuck in this vicious cycle of not being able to control your eating or having a bad relationship with food, or like you can get it under control once you've acknowledged the habits that you're doing.
Yeah. And I think it's just taking note of when you do these things. And like because I'm also someone who's experienced this as well.
Yeah.
And I used to be someone who would pantry eat all the time. And even now with, I would say I have a very good relationship with food, I still catch myself out having episodes where I've, over-exceeded my calories for the day by a lot, purely because I had a shit day at work and I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to eat chocolate.
But I think it's okay to do that every now and then.
Yeah.
That's normal, and it's healthy to do that every now and then.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like if you have a good relationship with food, there's no issue with you eating something that you feel like and you satisfying those sugar cravings.
Yeah.
It's all about it's all about the amount that you're having in those situations. Do you know what I mean? Like if you can acknowledge, I'm going to have like a bit of chocolate, a bit of this, bit of that, all well and good. But if you are having a night where you just absolutely go to town on like a whole block of chocolate, and this is a repeated cycle that keeps happening, but then you feel guilty and then you feel shit and then you go and self-sabotage by restricting what you eat the following day, like that is a problem.
Massive problem.
And if you catch yourself doing that, like that's where you probably should be seeking help.
Yeah.
But let's
move.
Even
still, like even if you've got little tendencies, like I think it's also a good idea to get help, because it starts with those little tendencies and then it's a ripple on effect.
And it's all about like just, again, being aware of what you're doing. So like for you, knowing, like, let's just say you've acknowledged that you aren't sticking to your reverse diet. You've acknowledged that you've put on a bit of weight since your show. You've acknowledged that you feel shit about yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what now? Like, what do we do? So you obviously don't want to feel like this forever. Like you did mention that you're starting to feel more control again.
Yeah.
And you're getting on top of it. What do you think you want to do next? Like, how do you want to move forward with it?
I think it's just, for me, it's a bit of a time thing as well. Like just because I'm coming off the back of my reverse. So just allowing more time for my body to kind of level out a bit more. Because I think once that happens, I'll be able to get back to being fully adherent again.
Yeah.
But just being kinder to myself too, and reminding myself that I'm not, like I said before, not going to miss out on the food. The food's still going to be there, and just trying my best to just get control back again. Like I don't need to have half a block of chocolate when I get home from work. Like just getting.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah,
is that what you're doing?
like just saying no more. Like just saying, be more disciplined.
Yeah.
Be more disciplined.
Yeah. And like even outside of the fact of you having food when you get home, like kind of snacking after you've had your meals for the day and getting to the end of the night and whatnot, like even would you say that just dining out and things in general, like talk to me about what you told me before when you went out.
Oh God!
I've caught her. I'm going to make her tell us the story. I'm going to make her share this.
So basically, Michael, don't at me. I went out for dinner last night.
Yeah,
with my friend James, and we went to get this lovely pizza, and then we were going to get ice cream after it. Well, we didn't organise ice cream, but I just anyway. And on the way to his, there was so much traffic, and I was driving past Yochi, and like Yochi wasn't even a thought in my mind until I was driving through Collingwood or Carlton, sorry, and then there was so much traffic, and I was at this traffic light for so long, and I was looking at Yochi, I was like, there would be nothing better than making me stuck in traffic with a bowl of Yochi. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to, because he still had like 15, 20 minutes left of work. So I'm like, nah, pull in, screw, got some Yochi, and then went back to his, got some pizza, and then we got ice cream. Like I didn't need to get Yochi.
So
Two, didn't need to get like Messina after it. And so I've just completely overindulged. And earlier that day, I kind of prepared myself to have
more calories.
Like I took snacks out.
Like you calorie banked in a way.
Yeah. So I took a couple of snacks out to make room just for pizza and a glass of wine. But then I outdid myself with some ice cream and some Yochi. And then I got into bed that night and I was like, I feel so disgusting with myself. Not only is my digestion just fucked, I feel so bloated. I feel heavy. And then the next morning this morning I woke up and I'm like, I feel atrocious.
Yeah.
And then it's that mind game where you're like, why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah. And that's hard though.
Yeah.
That's really hard to like be in that position.
But I'm like, the reason I'm laughing because like
because you're not being hard because you're being kinder to yourself.
I'm laughing because I'm like,
how did this happen?
No, in the moment I knew, like you do tell yourself, you're like, you probably shouldn't have this. You know you shouldn't be eating
It's the mind game with yourself.
Yeah.
It's all a fucking game with your head.
You know you shouldn't just, but the feeling of eating Yochi was far outweighing the conversation.
The repercussions.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I said before about time. Is just like allowing a few more weeks for my body to adjust, and I think those feelings will slowly like dissipate.
There'll come a time where you're like, I've done it. I'm ready to get my shit together.
I'm 20 kgs heavier, and I'm ready to get back onto it.
It's really hard though, and I think like because we can probably almost wrap up the episode for today.
Yeah,
but I think like the takeaway of this is, majority of people go through this in their life. Whether you're a competitor, whether you're not a competitor, you have gone through this period of time in your life where you've at some point probably felt a bit guilty for something that you've eaten, or an episode of the way you've eaten. Yeah, whatever it is, how much you've consumed. There is always going to be that thought in the back of your head like, oh, did I need to eat that? Or, not always, but there is going to be times where you do feel like you regret what you've eaten. And our takeaway is like, you've acknowledged what you've done, and it's not, trying to be cruel to yourself the next day. And you know that you're working towards it. Like you're at least acknowledged it now. You know what you need to do.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world. You can just jump back on. That's right. Jump back on your plan again the next day. And you don't need to restrict yourself because you've overeaten.
Yeah.
But just try not to make it a habit.
That's it. Did we even talk about your actual baked oats recipe?
No, we didn't. Do we go into it, or do we go into it when we make a YouTube video?
Ooh, okay. We actually want to ask you guys as the listeners whether you would be up for us.
We had some pretty good feedback on like people wanting to see my baked oats. So maybe it's better if we do a video.
All right.
on YouTube because then I can actually show them how I make it.
We're thinking of opening up a YouTube channel with some of our, footage behind the scenes of our training and our
cooking.
food.
Yeah.
Cooking, baking. Let us know what you want to see. This could turn into another job. Jesus.
So maybe in the next couple of weeks, we'll upload a video of us making a baked oats.
I won't be able to eat it, will I? So
we can make it macro friendly.
All right. We can
make it macro friendly just for Kayla.
Yeah.
Done. Right. Should we get into our rapid fire?
Yeah, let's wrap it up with some rapid fire questions.
Are we getting Peter to read these to us?
Yeah, why not? Let's get him in. Let's get him on the soons.
Get him on the soon.
We told everybody. We told everyone this would be a 40-minute episode. Next
How much
minute,
is it?
3 hours.
I'll just pass it to you.
Okay.
All right.
Where are we going? All right. Favorite pre-workout meal?
I don't eat. I don't have pre-workout meal. So my pre-workout drink. My Primabolics pre-workout.
Okay, mine's definitely English muffin, Biscoff, and rice malt syrup.
Yeah.
Go to breakfast.
Either my baked oats or my overnight wheat bix.
At the moment, it is my Pro Oats because it's quicker to prepare than overnight wheat bix.
Yeah.
Favorite cafe? Ooh, actually, I got to tell you guys about a new cafe next week.
What is it?
I will find.
Oh,
Convoy in Mini Ponds.
there's actually a lot of good cafes in Mini Ponds. My favorite cafe is probably Baby Chino's in Point Cook. I love it. Great coffee, some good breakfast meals.
I'm going to give 2. I fucking love Little Bird on Union Road, but
Little Bird is so good.
Little Bird is great. I go there to work, but the second one is Jack B. Nimble because that's always where I go to work.
Yeah, that's a cute little one.
And they cater to me and my needs.
We love that.
I'm gonna flip this one on you guys. So we'll do best meal of the day first, and then I want to do another one.
Best meal for me is breakfast.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, my recess. The break.
Are you talking about your actual meal or eating breakfast, lunch or dinner?
No, I love my breakfast.
Yeah, my breakfast is the same.
All right, and then tangent. If you had to shag a meal of the day, what would you go for?
Definitely my baked oats. Breakfast.
But more, breakfast. You're a breakfast. Yeah, me too.
Breakfast slut. I'm a breakfast slut.
Fuck.
Even if it's like savory or sweet, I feel like I could always have breakfast. It's like my favorite meal.
But the meal. So not like
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You have to shag.
If you had to shag your meal, mine would be my baked oats for
Are you
sure.
a lunch girl?
Fuck, this is hard. I can't think, but I'm thinking.
What gets you super slutty?
It's almost my fucking peanut butter toast on sourdough at this point.
Yeah.
So your breakfast as well?
Oh,
No, that's a snack, isn't it?
it's my cafe breakfast. I froth it.
Yeah. So breakfast again. Breakfast.
Yeah.
Lunch.
Do you feel like the
Or chicken
like,
pesto pasta.
was it a dinner or a lunch? It's a lunch.
Either or.
Oh, there you go. She'll have it any day.
Multitasking.
All right. Something you can't stand. Food, obviously.
Something I can't stand. Food. Oh. There's nothing that I don't eat or don't like. That's a tough one.
I used to be like sashimi, like raw fish. I used to fucking hate that.
Really?
It's grown on me because
Are you fully into it now?
I'm not fully into it, but I like it a lot more.
If you get expensive stuff, it's very, very nice.
Mm.
There's a big difference. But I like all foods. Sorry, there's nothing I don't like.
Any allergies, sensitivity? Like fuck boys, I fucking hate them.
I have a sensitivity to fuckboys.
Kayla does for sure.
I don't have any allergies, sensitivities. Yeah, like sugar-free stuff. Fucks my gut.
I am very dairy sensitive. Like very dairy sensitive.
Yeah.
Meal plan or flexible dieting? Ooh, meal plan for me makes it easier.
Flexible dieting.
Flexible dieting, definitely for me. Belle, I'm hating meal plans.
Ooh, fresh food or meal prep?
I make fresh food for my meal prep, so
That's not meal prep then.
yeah, it is. It's still fresh food.
What?
I in my
It's
head,
like making it fresh.
Yeah,
like on the
making it-
spot.
no,
that's what I'm saying. That's what you're saying, yeah?
You prep your week though.
yeah, my lunches.
But she
Oh, yeah,
likes
but
the
you do-
process of making it on the spot. Like,
Yeah,
Too hard.
that's the 2-hour basket.
Meal prep. Boring bitch.
oh, well, so you've already answered this one. Are you a good cook? Fucking oath.
No, yes, I am a good cook.
I'm going to say now I am.
Now you are.
I used to be such a shit cook.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to make basic meals.
I just cook so simple that
Yeah.
I tell myself I'm a shit cook, but I actually cook the basics really good.
So, in other words, she's a shit cook.
Pick the Aussie on the podcast, eh?
Yeah.
We're up to 10?
Yeah.
Yep. What would you cook for someone on a date? Ooh, your specialty. Mine's gnocchi forno.
Oh, yum. I've cooked before like a dumpling noodle soup, but the dumplings were like homemade as well. Everything was made from scratch. I've done that before.
You Italian?
No. I'm a wog at heart.
Yeah.
No, wog at heart, but I'm not actually like
She's not actually wog.
I'm just
She's a
pure
pretend
Aussie.
wog.
No shit.
Yeah,
really?
I'm pure Aussie.
You're kidding.
But I think I've
That's
got
hilarious.
I think I'm a little someone at work tells me I'm a little wog stuck in a body.
100%. Yeah.
There's a bit of wog in me somewhere. Oh. Yeah, so probably that, like my little dumpling soup.
There's clearly a reason why I get the guy to cook for me. Because I don't.
Pretty girls don't cook.
I don't know. Actually, fuck. I'm really good at cooking salmon. Actually, but again, it's a
I was
basic
going to ask you,
meal.
can you cook steak?
I can. Yeah, I can actually cook steak.
Yeah.
But I cook.
That'd be a win.
I cook really. Yeah, I cook really good salmon and baked potatoes.
Can't go wrong.
All right. You go to takeaway recipe or fake away. Sorry, you go to fake away recipe and how to make it.
Well, because it's rapid fire, we're not going to go into how we make it, but just a burger and chips.
Mine's pizza. I make a really good fake away pizza.
Yeah.
That the pita base.
Yes. Yes. Good pizza. Good pizza.
Coffee order.
I said mine before, long black, dash of almond, and then some stevia. Just for some extra love for the gut.
Almond cappuccino.
Very fancy. Almond latte. Yeah. Or long black or espresso.
Yeah.
Anything with crack in it's good. What you'd order at a restaurant in prep versus out of prep. Ooh,
Dinner restaurant or like breakfast?
Let's go. Can we go breakfast? Because I feel like that's the most dangerous one. Because you just go like steak if you're in prep and it's like
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
Well,
Breakfast is dangerous.
to be fair, in prep, I don't eat out, but if I was to, if I had to, I would do, I think like scrambled eggs, a piece of toast would be like the easiest thing to track. Out of prep, I'm really into my.
She's gonna go with pancakes or waffles or something ridiculous.
I'm really into like steak at the moment.
For breakfast.
No, what would you order at a
Yeah,
restaurant?
we're going to do breakfast.
Okay, sorry.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, yep. Out of prep. Yeah, probably like some big waffles or like
I told you.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
yeah, some something sweet.
Of course. So mine, you guys know this. I order my 2 pieces of sourdough toast with my peanut butter and butter on the side. That is the easiest thing for me to track. Or poached eggs on sourdough.
Yeah.
And that is it. Like no avo, no nothing. Just
Yeah, yum.
butter, 2 poached eggs, sourdough toast.
Yeah.
Out of prep. Big brekkie. Big veggie brekkie.
Yeah,
with
yum.
some halloumi.
Yeah, yum. Yum. Or goat cheese or something.
Goat's cheese
Yeah.
and
Oh.
everything. The big greens brekkie. I love that. Maybe
Yeah.
some anything. Stop.
Yes, we're totally enabling you now. Here's another food question. The food you can't live without that can't be Biscoff, Chief. Go.
Was that put in there for me? Food that I can't live without. Probably oats. Protein oats. My protein powder, I'm going to say. Protein powder because I always have that with me.
Oh, that is a great answer
Yeah.
because I literally use my protein powder for everything.
Yep.
Yep.
So protein powder.
We're
Nice and
both on
easy.
that.
Yeah. Your
Yeah.
favorite takeaway and what do you order?
I'm going to sound like such a basic bitch, but I don't really eat takeout.
Not even GYG.
Oh, like, yeah, maybe
Grilled or Nando's? What do you prefer?
Oh, nice.
grilled or Nando's? Grilled.
Really?
I prefer
At my house.
Yeah.
I prefer Nando's.
Yeah, every time.
Grilled or schnitz?
Schnitz. Okay.
Schnitz chips for sure. Yeah.
The sweet potato chippies from Nando's. Stop it.
Favorite restaurant and what do you order? Oh God, that's too hard.
I didn't even answer mine.
Oh, sorry. Favorite takeaway.
Rude. My favorite takeaway is probably the chicken paella from Nando's.
Yeah, I'm not.
I love that.
I'm not a
fucking
Nando's
love
gal.
that. Or the chicken super fuel bowl from Nando's because it's got sweet potato chips in the salad. How good's that?
Yeah, yum.
Yummy.
Yum. Your favorite restaurant? That's hard.
Oh, just anything Japanese, I think.
Yeah.
Japanese in general.
Have you been to Nobu? I know it's a bit basic. Again, I'm very basic, but it's
Isn't that? I thought that was a fancy restaurant.
Yeah, it is. It's a fancy Japanese restaurant. It's unreal. Their crispy rice, spicy tuna crispy rice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, Japanese is definitely my fave.
Yeah,
but I do love Laksa King.
Oh my God, Laksa King is unreal.
Laksa, like chicken laksa extra veg is my fucking favorite.
And it's so cheap.
It's literally like $10.
I actually
$12.
I forgot that existed. I might be going there in the next couple of weeks.
Roti bread with peanut sauce. That's, oh my God, that's my craving. Fuck, I can't eat that now.
My jaw's tingling.
I've got 12 weeks now.
That'll fly.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the outro?
All right.
Sorry, I was getting abused.
We've dribbled on a lot of shit today.
We have.
I apologise, everybody. No, I don't. I don't apologise.
We literally came and we're like 40 minutes. That's it. Hour 20. Hour 20. Hour 20. Miss Scuzzy for banging on.
Miss Scuzzy.
I think half that episode too was Kayla talking about her freaking meal prep. But anyway.
I'm sorry, but I'm not. So as always, everybody, let's wrap this up by saying a big thank you for sticking around this long. If you love the episode and found it helpful, we'd love for you to share it to your IG story. Of course, give us a tag at the Evolve to Thrive podcast. We hope that you loved this lighthearted chat. I mean, at the end of the day, we did get a little bit deep in here too. So hopefully we have not triggered you in any way, but we would absolutely love for you to leave us a positive review, as it allows us to help you, and as well it allows us to keep bringing on more important guests and providing value to you each week as well. So yeah, we want to get some more
help us help you.
Let us help you. Yeah,
no, you help us help you. No, we really appreciate the support and all the feedback that we're getting, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.